Hi everybody. Apologies, first of all, this is not going to be a super polished and edited video. I don't have time at the moment, but with so many people now starting the awakening journey or being some way along it, I just felt it was a good time to recap what is going on. What is this thing that we're all in? And hopefully that will help you make sense of your own journey by having the context, and also hopefully give you more of a sense of purpose, because although awakening is a very individual journey, certainly in the beginning, really all of these awakenings are not about us. They're not about us as individuals. They are about the planet, the collective, this environment, and how we're going to change it. So, first of all, normally we come to these environments as souls to fulfill our potential, to learn all of the stuff. But what's happening down here at the moment is we're not really able to do that. And the reason that we're not able to do that is because the algorithm which underpins this environment has become corrupted. And that means that in our universe, which is unique in our multiverse, it's very different here to other places, we're coming in and living these very, very difficult lives. What is bad in another universe here is 10, 20 times worse. So it's gone past the point of coming down, having some challenges to overcome, having resistance to push against, which is what we need to learn. We need to overcome obstacles. It's come to the point now where the vibrational rate is so low, and the structures that are in this environment are so deeply embedded and so twisted now that we just get sucked into these awful circumstances. So to give you an example, elsewhere in the multiverse, no universe has experienced, for example, the Holocaust. We don't have genocide in other universes. We don't have race hatred in the way that we have it here, and we don't have misogyny in the way we have it here, human trafficking, etc. These things do not exist out there in the way that they exist here. And this is because the algorithm has become corrupted, but it's also because there is a tiny number of souls in our universe who do not incarnate with good intentions. They incarnate with bad intentions, and it is their intention to seed hate and destruction, and they don't care if the planet is destroyed. And because of the way the algorithm works, they have been able to influence the system to their own ends. So up there in the soul community is a tiny number of people. They have zero influence up there. But down here, because they have created the circumstances for them to flourish, we feel it here. So it's magnified here. So we took the decision as a soul collective, we all voted, it's a very democratic society, that we would initiate a huge mission, a huge program of missions called the Global Enlightenment Project, which is designed to change the situation down here. And it's a massive undertaking. We are waking everybody up. Everyone is going to go through, literally everyone on the planet, by the way, is going to go through spiritual awakening, at least start the journey over the next 20 years, we think, is how long it will take in our Earth time. Now, normally, in a universe, when we want to bring a community into enlightenment, which is what we do everywhere, so this is a standard process in that sense, it can take 150, 200 years. It really unfolds over time. It sort of becomes embedded in the culture. But we don't have that luxury here, because up there, where we're sort of controlling the game, if you like, we model everything. So we see what would happen if we do X, what will happen if we do Y. And what we could see a while ago was that if we didn't have this kind of huge initiative, that really we were heading towards nuclear Armageddon. So the planet pretty much was probably going to be destroyed or unsavable. The good news is it is savable, because we know this. because we have other game environments. We're in the middle one. We've got 5 of these. So there's 5 Earths like this. And in the top 2, which are easier, less dense to operate in, we have already initiated and completed global enlightenment. So we already know that it's going to work. All of our models show us that it's going to work. So everything that you're seeing around you, I know it feels like it's all collapsing, and I'll explain why that is in a moment. That's temporary. It's going to change. So the more of us that wake up, we lift the vibration, we initiate our own missions, our personal missions, we're really going to overturn this thing. And I just want to give you confidence that how highly coordinated this endeavor is. We are not down here taking any chances whatsoever. We have practiced and practiced and practiced. We have modeled and modeled and modeled. We have used our training environments. We have training environments which mirror the live game environments where we test things out. And we are all fully equipped. So even if you feel like you are floundering around, am I able to do this? What is being asked of me? All of this stuff. Even if you're feeling like this right now, and just to give you confidence, that's exactly how I felt at the beginning of my awakening. So I get it. The further you go, the more sure you will be that you are the right person to be here doing whatever it is you came to do. And over time, of course, you will also get more and more guidance, you will be more and more in tune, and it will all sort of just fall into place for you. It is set up to fall into place for you. So whenever you work out what your personal mission is, you will find all of those avenues are already there. We are set up for success. So one thing I want to say, I'm aware that there is content out there that sort of says, oh, yeah, it's all going to be fine. We just wait a bit, and then there's going to be this big shift, and there's a rescue mission, and etc. Well, the thing is we are the rescue mission. So, if you're sitting around and you're not practicing, practice is so important, meditating, etc. If you're not doing that, then then that shift is less likely to come. It really is down to us, and we feel like we're one lone individual trying to make a difference, but actually, we're talking about the power of the collective mind here. We're a collective. We just don't feel it in these environments because we have the human avatar, which keeps us in this sort of boxed in sort of being, but we're not boxed in beings. And the further you go through awakening, you will understand that. You'll become more telepathic, you'll be more in tune, you'll sense energy. So you're probably doing a lot of these things already. So, please take that as signs that what I'm saying is correct, that this is a collective mind. One person on their own on a mountaintop meditating all day, every day, practicing transcendental meditation will actually shift the vibration of the whole planet. Right? So if we're all doing it, then we're making a real tangible difference. And one of the features of our universe is that all of the negative energy that is created must be taken and reused, right? So this is why it's so important that collectively we raise the vibration. Even if we feel we're not doing much, we are, because we're reducing the amount of negative energy that is available to be used. There's a really great example of this. It was called, I think, the Lebanon Peace Study 1983, and a group of transcendental meditators gathered in Jerusalem over a period of 2 months. Every single day they meditated together collectively as a group. They were just using transcendental meditation techniques, and they focused on peace in Beirut. It was the Lebanon War. And they had amazing results, measurable results. They repeated this exercise, I think, 8 times, and every single time they had measurable results. They reduced the number of fatalities, they reduced the number of injuries, and they increased the amount of cooperation between the warring factions. So that was just through meditation. They weren't even affirming, using manifestation techniques, anything like that, literally just raising the vibration. So we have scientific precedent. We know that this works, even in this dimension, even if you're not a meditator, even if you're not on the awakening path. You can read this study and you can see that the collective mind has power. And this is kind of the key, really. What we're doing down here through awakening is we are taking back our power. We are taking back control. And when people talk about escaping the matrix, I do have sympathy for that, because if we think of the matrix as being the established order that has been created over the last few centuries, really all of this started in the Renaissance, in the 16th century. This is when the darker forces got a sort of toehold and spiraled us down, right? So really, we are taking back control. We are refusing to conform to the norms that we are told that we must observe. So, we do not have to have a 9-to-5 job, because there are other avenues set up for us to make sure that we have the resources we need to do the mission we came to do. We don't have to stay in an unhappy relationship. We don't have to tolerate parents who, quite frankly, are not invested in our good, who are not on our side. That's true for a lot of us, a lot of higher evolved souls who incarnated in these lives. We have resistance around us, people who are trying to prevent us from getting where we should be. So we can take back control by refusing to conform. We can take back control by observing practice. We can take back control by investing in ourselves, in our own development. And it's fine to do that. It's not selfish to do that, right? Because if you had a difficult upbringing, if you have trauma in the system, and if you're awakening at this time, you almost certainly do, then one of the greatest acts of rebellion that you can perform right now is to 100% wholly invest in making yourself as whole and well as you possibly can. Because when you do that, you raise the vibration and you will gain clarity. You will be able to see what the right path is for you. But when you have all of this noise in lower mind, all of this self-doubt, all of this negative self-talk, it's going to be very difficult for you to do that. So yes, so I'm really I hope I'm encouraging you here, because I know the journey is hard. It does get easier, but I know the journey is hard. But it's not just you who will benefit from the work that you do. It is all of us and the planet, this beautiful planet that we created, that we love so much, that we get to protect and reverse and bring back to its full glory, and recreate as the environment is supposed to be, where we can come and really explore and discover and learn and fulfill our potential and create, because we're creative beings. I just want to tell you very briefly about an initiative that I have started with a co-founder. Her name is Yuri. It's called the PeaceCast. The organization is called We Manifest Peace, and we meet every Sunday. We invite you all to attend every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. BST, British Standard Time, and it's very quick, 15 minutes, 20 at the most, and we just affirm for peace. We're actually focused on Gaza at the moment, because obviously the humanitarian crisis there is so bad, but we're hoping that we will create a global movement with, why not? Let's go for it. 1 million people every week affirming for peace in Gaza. The Lebanon study already tells us that these kinds of activities work. So I'm going to leave some information about that in the description to this video, and I hope that you will find time to join us. If you can't join us, then also you can watch on catch up, or you can just use the affirmations yourself in your daily ritual. Every little helps, so whatever you can contribute. Anyway, after that little detour, so what can you do if you're awakening? Where should you focus, right? So the first thing is, no matter where you are in your awakening, do your inner work. I have my own system. I haven't published it yet. I'm so sorry. I have been very busy with some other projects, but I have my own system called The Littles, which I am going to publish on at some point, But in lieu of that, you can use internal family systems. It's very similar. The first part of internal family systems is very similar to my own system. So please, if you are still wrestling with self-doubt, frustration, bouts of anger, trauma that you're aware is in the system, this is a very quick and efficient way to start clearing out all of that debris in the lower mind. So inner work, first of all, even if you are coming, you're much further along in awakening, you need to keep maintenance going. So you need to constantly or regularly be going down, talking to the entities in your lower mind, checking how are they, what do they need from you, is everyone okay, is your body okay, what does your body need from you? Because you can set up these internal dialogues, you can talk to one another. You are discrete entities all inhabiting the same avatar. So please do your inner work. That is number one. Number two, practice, practice, practice. I know it's hard. I'm not always perfect. We live in a very dense environment. Sometimes you're going to need to just take a break. But at the very least, if you can meditate every day, 5 minutes, whatever form of meditation you are most comfortable with, or if you're a brand new practicer, you're brand new to meditation, just use a guided app, anything at all, but just take those few minutes of stillness in the morning, ideally, just to ground, to center, to let all the crap go, and to elevate your consciousness, raise your vibration, elevate your consciousness. It will help you a lot, but it will also help the collective. So that's number two, practice. Also watch what you eat, what you consume, all of the stuff. And then the third thing that you can do, this comes a little bit later, but you can start thinking about it, is working out what your personal mission is. Why did you come? What is your purpose? Yes, we came to awaken, but once we're awakened, what did we intend to do in the world? There are a lot of healers out there at the moment. There are a lot of what I call builders as well, people who are building structures, so new types of businesses, new ways of doing things that are not centered around greed and the individual, but more about the collective and how you help communities. Perhaps you're a builder, perhaps you're a teacher, maybe you're all three of these things. You may be a mystic, you may be, as I am, you may be someone who receives teachings and your role is to share them with the world. So just start working out what this thing is. The only thing I would say here is, if you're quite early in awakening, if you're in the connection phase, try not to instigate anything yet. What can happen is, if you do that, first of all, you don't quite fully know who you are yet, because you haven't done all the lower mind work, you're not fully integrated, and sometimes you find stuff out about yourself that you never even suspected. And also, you are going to go into the spiritual dark night of the soul at some point, and when you're there, all you really need to do is rest and focus on getting through that. So anything that you initiate in the connection stage, once you get into the spiritual dark night of the soul, you're probably going to have to let it drop, or it's going to become a huge burden to you, and then obviously it's not going to have the love and the light and the care that it needs. Once you're through the spiritual dark night of the soul, then that's a whole different story. Then you can start thinking about what you want your legacy to be. Let's think big. What do you want to leave behind on this earth? I'm going to leave a load of links in the description to this video, because I might be using terms that you're not familiar with, so I will make sure that you've got links to all the resources that you possibly need. Now let's talk about timelines briefly, because we can look around at the world and we can see that it's in pretty shitty shape. It's not looking good right now, okay? Now, the reason for this is, we expected this, by the way. This is not unexpected. When we decided as a soul collective that we wanted to initiate this huge program, the Global Enlightenment Project, which, by the way, is not just about waking people up, it's also about building a whole new system, a whole new way of living on this planet. We did not want to come with any possibility of failure. We wanted to come knowing that all we had to do was execute, and we spent time setting a lot of things up so that when people did incarnate, progressively more and more opportunities are available to them to succeed in their missions. So we took the decision to wait and to test a lot of things and to set up a lot of things before we really pushed it off. But we knew that in that time, the downward spiral would continue because, you know, it was already going that way. So we're expecting things will still be getting a little bit worse over the next 4 to 5 years. But the thing is, it will be slowing down. So at one point it was, I mean, you can see it if you look even 10, 20 years ago, right? It's got a lot worse since then. So it was moving very quickly, this downward spiral, but now it's slowing up. So over 4 to 5 years, it's going to slow. Then we're going to plateau. We're going to come to a point of relative stability. So things will not get worse. That's going to last probably 2 to 3 years, I think. And then we're going to start coming upwards. Now, this is where it all gets really real and really exciting, because at the moment, all of us who are waking up, we're pushing against the tide. This is why it feels so difficult all the time. Every single day you have to wake up and recommit to the journey, right? But once we get onto the upswing, we have a following wind. So all of this stuff that we want to make happen is just going to go ping, 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 ping. Everything is going to be there set up. Also, the people who come in and start waking up in that time frame, is going to be much easier for them. So the journey will get much shorter, much easier, and there will be lots of support structures around these people. The ones of us who are waking up now, we tend to be the more highly evolved souls. So we have a lot of bodhisattva waking up right now. These are people who, souls who have more or less completed all their soul lessons. They do not need to be here to learn, but they are here to help this project. And there are hundreds of thousands of us right now, which is not typical. Normally in any game environment, we maybe have 1,000, 2,000 Bodhis all over the world doing their sort of little Bodhi enlightenment missions as they do. But now, honestly, hundreds of thousands. We may even get into the millions, actually. I haven't been given that number, but it wouldn't surprise me at all that if it were that. So we're forging a path. We are creating the initial structures that will help these other people as they start to awaken. The ones who are a little younger, who aren't as far along in their lessons, we're creating the environment for those people to awaken. So what we're doing is super important. I just want to say, keep going, right? There is light at the end of the tunnel. If you can't see it yourself yet, just trust the process. I promise you, it is there. The greatest act of rebellion you can perpetrate right now is to invest in yourself, invest in your awakening, invest in your journey. You know, as much as possible, close everything off. Do not listen to all of this noise from society that's telling that you must do this or you must do that. Do not listen to the people in your environment who you know, somewhere in you know are toxic, for want of a better word. They're not here to help you. They are here to prevent you succeeding. Don't feel bad about cutting these people out. Just, you know, parents even, if they're not helping you, let them go, because the only reason you are here is to take part in the Global Enlightenment Project. There is no other reason that you are here right now. It's all about that. Every single thing you see happen on this planet right now is connected to the Global Enlightenment Project. We're in special measures. Usually in the multiverse, the universes interact, but we are quarantined. Our host universe, the one outside of us that looks after us, helps us, they are fully invested in this. They are supporting us. We have every single possible weight behind us to make this succeed. So please keep going, invest in yourself. I am going to leave a link to my online course in the description to this video as well. This course is designed to teach you everything you need to know about awakening. It will take you from the beginning right through to the end. It will tell you what you need to do at each stage, and it gives you 12 really essential protocols. The ones that, obviously there's loads of protocols out there, right? But this toolkit, if you just have these 12, you can always get yourself out of the situation you're in. You can always move yourself on to the next stage of your journey. So I really encourage you, just take a look at it. It's super affordable. I made it very affordable, so that anyone, you know, hopefully anyone can access it. So I hope that was helpful, and apologies because I'm probably not going to edit this video, but I hope you made it this far.